Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and here on this channel I ramble with articulation, I hope, about a variety of different video, musical and audio elements of the videos that I watch. And today we are checking out Pentatonix, and we're going back almost a decade to look at their cover of Hallelujah. I hadn't done this one for a while because I wasn't 100% sure if I hadn't seen it already. And the more I've thought about it, the more I think I don't think I had. I think I was vaguely aware of Pentatonix around this time, but I don't think I'd heard enough to have heard this song. And I don't think I also fully realized its significance and sort of notoriety and how big it was. Notoriety is not the right word. You know what I mean. But yeah, I'm very, very interested to dig into this and to see what they do with it, because I think they're going to do a wonderful job. I think this is a difficult song to get right, and I think they will have done it. Like, I think covering this is very hard. And there have been some very successful covers, but there have also been some, I think, that have not been as successful. So I'm definitely excited to dig into this. Hallelujah, of course, written by Leonard Cohen, supposedly took him about 5 years to write, with over 150 revisions, according to his notebook. And I think he had a really difficult time getting this one right. He first recorded it when he was 50. Alan Light wrote for Pitchfork in an article called Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, Music's Greatest Work in Progress, and I will cite that both on screen and in the description. He wrote that the song came from, quote, a desire to affirm my life in faith, not in some formal religious way, but with enthusiasm, with emotion. That was Cohen speaking to Alan Light. And he went on to say, quote, there is a religious hallelujah, but there are many other ones. When one looks at the world, there's only one thing to say, and it's hallelujah. Kind of gives me vibes of What a Wonderful World as well, the way that he's presenting that. And I think that makes a huge amount of sense to me. It did not achieve an enormous amount of success when it first came out, but it went on to do so, and between 1985 and 2016 it peaked at number 1 in France and on the New Zealand Heatseekers chart. It got to number 17 in Canada, 36 on the UK singles and 59 on the Hot 100. So it did very well, but it didn't sort of, blow everything out of the water, and it certainly didn't all happen at once. It was popularized, apparently, I didn't realize that this was really what made it catch the eye, but it was popularized after John Cale's version was used in the 2001 movie Shrek. That kind of blew it into the popular view, I guess. And then there was a resurgence, of course, after Leonard Cohen died in 2016. I was very fortunate. 2012 or 2013, I forget exactly when, I went and saw Leonard Cohen live here in Toronto. And it was a magical experience. For a much older man who, he wasn't rocking out on stage and bouncing around, and, his energy was very reserved, but his presence, like, this was an arena show, and his presence took over the entire arena. It was remarkable. Truly, truly phenomenal performer. I didn't know much of his work, and it was such an affecting gig to go to. It really, really was. It has had success in its covers as well. Of course, John Cale, as mentioned, kind of brought the song into the popular eye, apparently. Jeff Buckley got to number 1 on the US Digital Songs chart in 2008, and Alexandra Burke got her cover to number 1 of the UK Singles chart in the same year. The Pentatonix version got to number 1 in Austria. It reached 16 in Canada, 84 on the UK singles, and 23 on the Hot 100 in the US, so it did very well for itself as well. So very, very excited to see what they've done with it, because that is, that's a solid track record right there. And I know this was one of the songs that blew them into popular sight themselves. And it is worth noting that this came out on the 21st of October in 2016, so it has been out for 9.5 years at this point in time. It has over 789 million views on their channel, and I'm sure it's probably got more elsewhere. I feel like it's it's probably been used, like clips of it and things like that have been seen on other media in some way, shape or form. So I am very excited to see what they've done with this. So we're going to run at it. So I'll say welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. If it is the way this works, I'm going to watch this through from beginning to end, commenting and emoting over the top. I will then go back and watch a second time, pausing and interrupting and offering what commentary and analysis I feel I can, based on what I've just seen and heard and the foreknowledge of one prior viewing. If you are just here for the reaction, the first quarter or so of this video will do for you. Also, please check the description down below. You will find a link to Pentatonix's channel and to the original video. Please be sure you watch that first. This is their song, their arrangement of the original song. They did the performance. I am merely analysing their art, and this is not a substitute for that original video. Please do hit the like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell. And if you would care to support the channel, you can do so by heading over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, or by leaving a super thanks here on YouTube, any of which would be gratefully appreciated if you should choose to do them. Also, I will say in advance, because I'm almost certainly going to have to do this, I apologize if the video spends, the video component that's going to be up here will spend a lot of this video grayed out, flipped. It'll have words over the top of it. This era of Pentatonix, their copyright is very strict, and I don't want to break that because it will stop my video being visible more than anything. Like, I don't mind if I get a copyright claim on a video and the ad revenue goes to the original artist. That's fine. But the Pentatonix back in this time, they will actually block it from being viewed if I don't cover it and obscure it appropriately. So that may well happen. Very lastly, for anyone who hasn't seen a recent video, I'm in my new place. I'm still getting some bits and pieces sorted out here, so I'm working on a laptop with a single screen. I'm desperate to get that solved, but as of right now, I'm still on a smaller setup than usual, so pardon me if there are a few cuts while I'm switching between. There is a lot of roadworks going on right outside my window, so you may hear some sounds from outside, for which I apologize, and if there are a few artifacts in the video, which unfortunately there have been the last couple of weeks, again, I apologize, but I don't want to stop recording for several weeks until this is resolved. I'd rather just keep going, and hopefully it won't bother you too much. It shouldn't be on my side of things, it'll just be on the video side of things. So my apologies for that, but hopefully it's not too bad. And I think that's everything. So without any further delay, a quick cut while I get the video set up, and we will see Pentatonix's cover of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah.
I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for me.
What a gorgeous beginning.
Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift.
Oh, nice little run.
The baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Oh,
Hallelujah.
the richness. That's gorgeous.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Oh, I like this as a rhythm.
Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to the kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah.
This is gorgeous.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I love their use of...
Hallelujah.
There's decay going on, but silence. I like the visuals of the percussion too. That's a cool addition to the video. Kirsty, damn. That's beautiful.
There's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear tonight. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a chord and it's a broken hallelujah.
Gorgeous. Oh, that crescendo. Wow. Wow.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We love you so much. We hope you love this song and all the songs on A Pentatonix Christmas. You can get that album. Just look in the description box below.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget.
We love
Merry
you.
Christmas, y'all. We love y'all.
Oh, lovely stuff. This is a great album cover, incidentally. It's interesting. I did this because I don't see this, and I think it was, you know, as was said from the, I think what Cohen said in that quote, it's not necessarily a religious hallelujah. And so I don't personally see it as a holiday song, which is why I chose to do it now. And I didn't think about that, but it makes sense that it would fit perfectly on a Christmas album, I think. My goodness. I actually think this is the first time that song has brought tears to my eyes since I actually saw Cohen perform it himself. That is such a magnificent arrangement. The harmony, the use of voicing in this is spectacular. I'm just going to quickly remove that for a second. I just want to see if there's anything in the description to add. Probably not. Nope, nada. So we're going to go back to the beginning and watch this again and see what I can pull out of it, because wow.
I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord.
I love this opening shot. I'm just going to get a slightly cleaner video. Just Scott walking on his own, nobody else in frame, out in the middle of the desert somewhere. It's such... And the way that he's just performing this very exposed, there's no instrumental, obviously vocal, but instrumental lead into this. It's just his voice straight out of nowhere. The video matching that quality, that sense of nothingness, which is amazing. This is really, really lovely as an opening to this. And it most people... I don't know. Would most people have heard the song when they heard this? I feel like nowadays it's even better known, but I think it's identifiable enough that you know where it's going without needing anything else. You just hear that first line. It's like, yep, got it. Okay, I know what we're listening to right now. And that's very powerful. Like, this is what the thing with these songs that have such incredible identities. Is you can do so much with them without doing a lot at the same time. Like, you can really alter an arrangement, but if there is that identifiable melody, drum loop, even instrumentation, you can pick the song out immediately without any difficulty, which is incredible.
I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you?
And this is so lovely, coming in with much higher harmonies. Like, the harmony is not far away from the register Scott is singing in necessarily. He's fairly high, they're fairly high. We're not coming in with Avi down at the bottom. We're giving time for that to happen, which I think is really nice. So this is obviously, we're seeing Kirsty and Mitch straight off the bat. Might just be I think there was a third voice in there. Maybe there's a high Kevin in there too. I'm not 100% certain, or even a high Avi, because I know he can go high too. But it's that higher register that leaves so much, because it's like, we're starting here. Here's the, let's say, I can't even see. Hang on a second. This is the problem with one screen. If this is the breadth of the entire song, we're starting here, and we've got that height to go to, and we've got that depth to go to, and that's really interesting because it means that we have a lot of exploration to do throughout the duration. And this is, this isn't, they obviously talk for a minute at the end, but this is, probably an over 4 minute long song, and they keep it interesting the whole way through because of the amount they leave themselves to work with from the very beginning. There's always more that you can add.
And it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this, the fourth.
And this is such a lovely choice too. Not only do we start with the it's mid Avi range. It's not down in the depths. We don't get that till the end. So but then he goes up. He goes up to the fourth. So we're keeping, even though we've now added a whole chunk onto the bottom end by simply putting his voice in there, it is rising. So it is, which fits the lyric too. The fourth, the fifth, the minor sixth. As that climbs up, so does he. And so we have this rising movement, which is keeping a levity into the song at this point in time.
Well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift,
minor fall, sorry.
The barefoot king composing, hallelujah, hallelujah.
There.
Well, it goes like this, the fourth.
Yeah, so when he comes back down there,
the barefoot king composing, hallelujah.
That is the lowest note we've had so far. But note how quiet. Sorry, something in my eye. Note how quietly he hits it. It's not boom boom. He's not suddenly giving us this strident sound down there in the bass. He's not trying to create a pedal. The bass is still very, very reserved, and again, it gives us more places to go, but it's also keeping the arrangement very gentle, which is lovely. It's so perfect for this.
Well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the barefoot king composing, hallelujah.
And I love that that's the fastest movement we have, is the Apart from that, it's these very gentle da 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 da, whatever the notes are that they're singing. It's at most a couple of chords per bar, fairly evenly spaced, and then that dum dum suddenly gives a little bit of additional rhythmic interest, which I think is fascinating.
Composing, hallelujah.
Oh, and then you get that rich bass coming out from Avi underneath. That is gorgeous. And notice that the harmony now, it had stayed in that fairly compressed, spatially speaking, not technically. I'm not talking about audio compression. I'm talking about how small their chord is. It's relatively compressed up to that point. Even you have Avi wandering around in the bottom, but he's kind of providing his own foundation. Whereas here, it feels like he's joined the chord and the chord is stretched, which is really cool.
King composing, hallelujah.
I love the choice, too, to have them actually sing Luya, rather than just having it in as an or a low R or something like that. Actually singing the same syllabic sounds that Scott is singing as well is really, really lovely, because you get that Luya. It's not with a glottal entry. It's a ya. It's a gentle entry onto Luya. Both of them have a little something to lead you into the vowel sound, so it's not a hard punch. They're still keeping it gentle, even as they've increased the breadth of the musical sound.
Hallelujah.
You can also start to pick voices out a little bit more here. Like, I feel like I can hear Kirsty a little bit stronger there. Obviously, Avi down the bottom. You're starting to see the individuality because they are widening that chord, so they're less sort of on top of each other almost. And so you're getting the breadth of them as a group, as well as the added breadth of the music.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
This I love too, the Luya. That obviously we settled down. But Avi, down at the bottom, you do, do, do. And then he resolves to the dum, 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 dum. He goes back up again. It would have been very easy to put the super deep bass note in there as well, and they choose not to, and that's great. I love these little riffs. Hallelujah. Really, really beautiful little embellishments we've got going on here. Now, this is so interesting because we're starting to play with the sections a lot more. Do-do-dum, ha, do-do-dum, ha, do-do. So there's always something happening. Later, they will play with actual silence. Again, there is the decay going on. But here, at this point, you've got the ha in the higher parts and then do-do-dum in the lower. Like, there's interchange between the two of them. So the basses are being quiet for basses. I'm talking like a choral section. Avi's being quiet for a bit, and Kevin, if he's singing with him a little bit. Mitch and Kirsty are being quiet for a bit. So there's those gaps between them, but there is constantly sound. That's ongoing. So it's interesting because they're halfway to what they're going to do later, which is a really cool evolution. I like that a lot. I love this editing. This is gorgeous here. Focusing on Scott because he's finishing the solo. Mitch is the first person we see doing a ha. Kirsty doing the same thing. Quick cut to Scott for the hmm. There we see Kevin is also doing a ha. So he's there as well, higher in his range. And then cut to Avi. It's lovely. We're getting to see what everybody is doing, which is so nice. And I think especially almost more important in these earlier days of these big a cappella groups where it's not such a common form of music as it is today, where we have an idea of what's going on. Go back 10 years, it was a little less common. And so it's nice to be able to actually identify if we're not familiar with the group. And I don't know how big Pentatonix were when they released this versus how big they became afterwards. But if you're not familiar with exactly what they're doing, videos like this are a really nice way of kind of getting a little bit of a look through the keyhole, so to speak, to understand that better. Oh, I had actually the little bit more there from Scott underneath.
Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty.
I assume this is Kevin now singing the bass line. There's gorgeous down there, lovely rich sound coming from him down the bottom.
Saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty. Oh. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty. beauty.
I think they're just doing ha. For a minute, I thought it was a ha. I thought there was a little bit of an extra or something like that in the middle of it, but I think that was just a trick of my hearing.
You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you.
Oh, such a beautiful transition. And what's noticeable too is notice how much they are staying. We're not moving. It's not like we're da 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 da. Like that chord isn't moving anywhere. It's staying very much in one place, except for the slight pop-up at one point.
Faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you.
Yeah, so six iterations of that chord, and only one is different, and it just goes up a tiny bit. But notice also, and this is such a lovely example of this, you've got the dum, da da dum, da da dum. So we're going from the tonic of the major to the tonic of the relative minor, back up to the tonic of the major, and so you can hear that da, even though it's the same couple of notes being sung up at the top, the bass note that's underneath them is changing the tonality so that they sound different. And it's such a great example of that. You've got these two very identifiably different chords being sung, and yet most of the notes in them are exactly the same.
Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to
I love that so much, that increase.
you.
Oh, that's a little bit of a rise, and then straight away it pulls back into the ooh. It's so lovely. It's a sforzando, we would call it. You have forte, you have piano. Forte is loud, piano is soft. You can have your various grades of that, right? So mezzo forte, kind of loud. Mezzo piano, kind of soft. Pianissimo, very soft. Fortissimo, very loud. Sforzando is like you sort of hit it, immediately pull back to nothing and rise through it. So it's a ba, that sort of a sound. And that's kind of what they give us here.
In the moonlight overthrew you.
La, da, da. There's a tiny little pullback and then a push forwards again. Really, it's maybe not full sforzando, but it's kind of in that vein. But the immediate on the ooh, immediately coming back again to a quieter sound.
In the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to the kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the heart.
And notice this is ah. They're in an ah now, but it's not an ah. It's not a very big sound. They're noticeably behind Avi in the mix, which is really, really lovely. And it gives the sense that all of this harmony is just supporting this beautiful solo line, which I think is perfectly fine. Like, this song does so much work by itself. The poetry that Cohen wrote does so much work by itself that you don't need to do a lot to it. And I think that's one of the ways that arrangements of this often fail, and this one succeeds beautifully.
The kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
So here they're really playing with that silence. This is what I was talking about earlier. Also, shots like this. Like, what an incredible location to film this. This is gorgeous. Just the separation between them is perfect, like the way that they're staggered. And the fact that it's not a full sort of chevron or a diagonal, like you have Mitch slightly further back, so there's layers to this. And then just that vast distance behind them. I don't know how long that would actually be, but it looks so far. And it's beautiful.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
So it's sort of a beat of silence, and then you hear Avi, you hear the intake of breath and things like that, and there's just the decay fading underneath, but it is a different timbre again to the music, because earlier we had silence from sections, but not silence overall. Here we're getting, and again, I'm saying silence, but by which I mean they're not producing new sounds. the sounds are decaying behind them. But it's gorgeous.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
I also love in the mixing, and he's obviously got to take bigger breaths because he's got the H on set, like the halle. An H is always going to be a fairly aspirate sound, so you're going to lose a fair amount of air that way. But he's singing the full word, but he's also got a shorter amount of time between the end of the previous one and the start of the next one. This could be mixing, or this could just be them being very controlled in their breathing. I don't know which, but the fact that we don't hear the onset of breath from any of the other four, it's just from Avi. It's a part of what he's the one who's singing the hallelujahs right now. He's the one who's having that moment in the song. And so there's no additional focus by hearing anyone else inhale at any point in time. It's a lovely touch. I like the fact that we can hear Avi, especially for a song like this. She drew a hallelujah. You know, she pulled it from you. It's not like it's controlled. It's ecstatic. It's overwhelming almost. And so the sort of addition of the hallelujah, that the intake adds something to that quality, I think.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Oh, the volume control in this. It's so... Hang on, I want to go further.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
There's just a lovely little rise and fall in the middle of that. It's so, so good. And now I love that we get the patting of the... Kevin, the whole way through this, is visualizing what he is doing with the vocal percussion, and some of this may even be legitimate sounds. I don't know. I imagine it's mostly vocal percussion, but there's a quality to this specifically. There's sort of like a double, like a budum quality to it that does make me wonder if they maybe overlaid him with some actual sort of almost Foley percussion in the studio. Is that the case? I don't know. If not, what he's doing is fantastic and blends really, really well with the visuals of what he's doing. Also, this shot. I mean, come on! That is stunning. Like that. Oh. And this was before drones. So that's a very, very carefully managed shot. That's gorgeous. And I love this crack in the earth that runs down past them. This is just, wow. The visuals in this video. It is so simple. And this is an amazing example of how simplicity can be so creative. There's nothing complicated about this shot, but the placement, the costuming, the color of the earth, the way that they are located against this crack and the other crack off in the distance in the far right-hand corner. This is magnificent cinematography. And I love this visual. We've had... Kirsty's been in the song the whole time. Obviously, she's been singing harmony the whole time. She's been identifiable in the harmony at points. But I love that as we come up to her solo, the four gents just walk up to her. That's such a lovely visual passing of the baton, if you like. That's a really, really nice touch. Now this, I love, right? So here we're messing with time signatures a little bit. Let's just go back a tiny bit. So this is in 12/8. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So that's in 12/8, which is a compound time, meaning that you divide each beat into 3. Notice how Kevin leans on the bass end of the percussion immediately starting here.
Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor.
He is drumming in simple time. His beats are divided into 2, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So he is his primary drum. Well, he's got the going on still.
I've seen this room.
It's interesting because he's playing slightly at odds even to himself, because the feel of what he's doing is it's sort of a 1 2 3 1 2 3, whereas the with the drum it's a is the feel that he's kind of adding to it, but he's not taking away from that compound rhythm. That is such a lovely piece of instrumentation and rhythm right there. That is great.
Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you.
Oh, that harmony right
I
there.
used to live alone before I
That line, what is it?
I used to live
That slide up there is amazing. That is so beautiful.
I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble.
Goodness me. I'm sure you can hear that. My entire apartment is vibrating. Sorry. We're just going to struggle on.
Live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag.
That the way that carries on, 1 da 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 1, and then they start singing on the 2. It carries into the next bar. That is lovely. 3, 4,
And I've seen
1.
your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a call.
I love what they're doing with the melody here too. They've had a couple of embellishments up to this point, but this victory march, the lovely little slight changes. It's not a lot. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can be a small amount, but they're using it to build the song. They're not just doing it for the sake of doing something different. They're doing it to build the song, to keep evolving the song forwards.
And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Oh my goodness. There is so much to love in this.
It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah, there's... Do you mind?
Victory march. It's a cold
The victory march underneath.
and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah.
And then there's a little bit of lightness there on the hallelujah, which in and of itself is gorgeous, but there's a little bit of a fallback. There's a little bit, the percussion draws away, there's a little bit less harmony there, and then it comes back in again. It's, oh. I love how we're still focusing this whole time on Kirsty and what she's singing. Also, look at this, another stunning shot. we're still focusing a lot on Kirsty and what she's doing right now, but everybody's got something going on in the background. Just even that, a little extra. Hallelujah. Behind. Oh, again, they use hallelujah. The use of volume as they push through that. Spectacular. Oh, and this from Kevin that just drops off. Drops off.
Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever...
And we're just left with this beautiful angelic quality of Mitch's voice with a little bit of reverb on it. That's with this whole they've reverbed beautifully on this. The way this has been mixed in that sense. You've got this lovely sense of space without being kind of too boomy.
Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot.
And again, this simplicity of we're just going to add Arvi and then we're going to add everybody else.
All I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you.
Oh, nice little bit of crunchy in there, just a little bit in the chords.
How to shoot somebody who
Oh, a little bit of I think it's a semitone, isn't it?
was how
Or a tone.
to shoot somebody who outdrew you.
Yeah. I think there's a tone. I think somebody goes up a tone and then somebody resolves up to clean it up. But in the meantime, there's this interesting tonal gap there. I think it's a full tone. That's really lovely. Or a whole step in North American nomenclature.
To shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not
I love. That's really nice.
who outdrew you.
Who outdrew ya? Mitch goes down. Doo-doo-dum. Immediately, Arvi comes up. It's like the two parts are meeting.
Somebody who outdrew you. And it's not
I stopped in the middle of my point there, but I wanted
who
to hang on.
outdrew you.
I wanted to talk for a minute now that we've got this shot here and we can see them a little closer up. This costuming is spectacular. I love that we have this general rough silhouette where we have the coat that cuts off just above the knees. You have fairly skinny, like tight black pants that go down, the boots. Everybody's wearing it's a not dissimilar silhouette. But when you see them close up, there's little differences. Obviously, Mitch has the hat. Kirsty has the differently coloured coat and textured coat. There's a very different feel to what she's wearing. Arvi has the beanie on. There's lots of different ways of identifying them, but they still form a comprehensive silhouette that is holistic through the group. And I think that's absolutely lovely. And the choice to have them wearing almost, if we take Kirsty's coat out of the mix for a minute, although even that's dark, but having them all in dark clothing so that they stand out against this pale desert floor is spot on. And come to that, the sky. Like they are always, they might not necessarily be in focus, technically speaking, but they are always the focal point of the shot. It's absolutely wonderful costuming.
Was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear.
And you see when they're close up, I just want to finish that point. Like Kevin has his collar up. Mitch has the shirt coming through the top and sort of forming a collar, whereas Scott has his collar folded down. Like everybody's got something a little bit different. And so there is individuality even while there is unity. And I think that's marvelous.
Somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear tonight. It's not.
Listen to this. They've gone from having those moments of silence to it's this holistic legato, long, extended phrase.
And it's not a cry that you hear tonight. It's not somebody who's seen the light.
how big this is getting now. It's like we're getting there now. This is going to be the climax of the song. This is the big moment. They're really pushing forward. This is so good.
It's not somebody who's seeing the light. It's a call.
And then that little break there.
It's not somebody.
See, even there, see?
Not a cry that
No break,
you
no break, no
hear
break.
tonight. It's not somebody
Even there, where the top chord's cut off, Avi is still continuing underneath.
who's seeing the light.
And then there's just that momentary beat-long break in the middle there.
It's a chord and it's a broken hallelujah.
Oh, and they all come in together. Mitch has his own timing. Like, his hallelujah is not strict, whereas theirs is. And then another moment of silence. That whole sequence.
Cry that you hear tonight. It's not somebody who's seeing the light. It's a chord and it's a broken hallelujah.
It's bringing tears to my eyes again. And then we reintroduce these quiet hallelujahs, these long notes from Avi. The percussion comes back in. This is magical. And the hallelujah, again, different note. We weren't expecting that to pick up at that point in time, but it widens the sound out again and gives them permission to go back into where we're going next. You can hear, I'm getting choked up again. You could hear the amount of passion that they are putting in. Listen to Scott's voice, listen to Kirsty's voice. Like, just these cries, these absolute, like, it's like they're calling out. It's wow. And again, these nice little embellishments. Hallelujah. Really lovely. Wow. Oh, what an amazing climax this is. It becomes so big, and then you get that doof, 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 doof. Again, it's exactly the same thing we had when Mitch came in and started singing. It's that same pattern in what Kevin does for a second, and it just hangs, and the song could end right here, but it doesn't. We go into these, and I'm glad they don't sing Hallelujah again. We go into this beautiful humming. Oh, there's so much beautiful movement in here. Lovely line. There's one. And then finally, there it is, that lovely deep RV note at the very end. And that note just holds, and they hold it such a beautiful amount of time. And then there's the gentle fade out of the camera, the decay. And then over the silence, you get that final fade out. And look at this. Even in this final shot, you can still so clearly see the five of them. That's that wonderful contrast at work that they struck with the costuming in the set, or the location. That is magnificent. That is magic. Wow. So I can confirm, I should have said this sooner after the actual reaction part of this, I can confirm I have not seen this before. The fact that you are seeing this video proves that point. That's amazing. What a stunning, truly stunning rendition of this song. They kicked that out of the park. They really did, or hit it out of the park, whatever the expression is. Wow. Rarely am I so impressed with such an iconic song's cover. And that wow, yeah, truly incredible. They hit that exactly where they needed to. That's spectacular. It really is. And I really hope that you got something out of watching that with me. Thank you for being here, especially if you're still here at the end of the video. It means an awful lot to me, the time that you spend with me. And hope over that, whether you've seen this, whether you've contributed to the 789 million views in a big way, or whether this is the first time you're seeing it. Well, hopefully the second if you saw the original. I hope I managed to bring something to you, whether it's a moment you didn't realize why you liked it so much, or something you even hadn't heard. Possibly, because there's a lot in this arrangement. It is detailed and involved. It's absolutely magnificent. That is spectacular. Very, very impressed. Pardon this noise. This is terrible. I don't know how long this is going on for. The entire stretch of road outside my apartment has been ripped up. So they're obviously doing whatever they're doing, and then they'll put it back, and hopefully it won't be too much longer. But yes, and thank you, as I say, for being here with me. Please do hit the like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell. And if you would care to support the channel, you can do so by heading over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, to Patreon. Where you can leave a one-off donation of any amount, to Patreon.com/DavidKReacts, where you can sign up for $2 or $4 Canadian or your regional equivalent. And we are a few weeks away, maybe at most a couple of months, but I'm hoping a few weeks away now from my Patreon being more involved than it is. Or you could leave a super thanks here on YouTube. Any of those would be very, very gratefully appreciated if you should choose to do them. And that's it for this week. Again, thank you for joining me. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, whatever time it is that you're watching this, morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime. Let's go for, I don't know. Let's go for 9:01 p.m. See if somebody's watching then. But yes, do take care of yourselves. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.